Well, what's worse, that was your first meeting or that you came back for more? That's tough, man.
All right, the time is 7 p.m. We'll call this meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Pileski.
Here.
Trustee Della Penna.
Here.
Trustee Domke.
Here.
Trustee Forsythe.
Here.
Trustee Lanisa.
Here.
Trustee Burkowski.
Here.
Trustee Trejo.
Here. We have a quorum. We'll move on to presentation of the prepared agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Move, David.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Any abstentions? That motion carries. We'll now move on to Village Board public comment. Anyone wish to provide a comment on a topic or an agenda item may address the Village Board in person during the public comment and public hearing segments of the Village Board agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Is there any member of the public that wishes to address the board at this time? The record show none. We'll move on to officials and staff reports. Under mine, it's my pleasure to do an encore presentation of the swearing in of our new fire chief, Tim Smeltzer, and our deputy fire chief, Matt Kopic. So I know we had a wonderful ceremony, so thank you to the department for all that you did to put that together. I know it took a lot of effort and work, but it was really touching to have all the families and our entire team and also representatives from all of our other Alliance members to be there to recognize all the hard work that you put into this to reach these milestones, and also want to also recognize Chief Bozick. You'll always be chief in my mind. We'll have to figure out some other name to call you around when we see you around, but congratulations on retiring from the fire service. Very fantastic career, and we were very lucky to have you when we had you. And so, Tim, do you want to join me up here? Well, second time's the charm. You weren't there. You weren't there. All right, if you'd raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name. I, Timothy Smeltzer, having been appointed to the position of fire chief. Appointed to the position of fire chief in the village of Roselle. In the village of Roselle. In the counties of DuPage and Cook. Counties of DuPage and Cook. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of Illinois. The Constitution of the State of Illinois. That I will faithfully discharge the duties of fire chief. That I will faithfully discharge the duties of fire chief. To the best of my ability. To the best of my ability. Congratulations. Thank you. Want to say anything after you're done doing the applicate?
A lot of speeches this evening. I don't want to bring on any more speeches, but I do want to say thank you. I want to say thank you Village Administrator Kowalski, your team, your staff, Board of Trustees, and my great support team, and most definitely.
And for those of you at home, one thing that's unique about our new chief is he actually lives in our service area. So not only can he join calls very quickly, but he's very aware of the service and the importance of what we provide to the community at large. So congratulations again, chief. Next, I'd like to have Matt Kopic come up to be sworn in as our new deputy fire chief. Right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Matthew Topic,
Having been appointed to the position of deputy fire chief
having been appointed as Deputy Fire Chief
in the village of Roselle,
in the Village of Roselle,
in the counties of DuPage and Cook,
in the counties of DuPage and Cook,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of deputy fire chief
and will faithfully discharge the duties of Deputy Fire Chief
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Before you take off, if you want to say anything, find folks at home.
Big crowds at the firehouse, but yeah, thank you again for the opportunity and looking forward to working with Chief Smelter and Chief Bowes for the opportunity. My wife, kids are all at the warehouse, but thank them as well. It's on record. It's been following up there. Thank you all for that. Thank you guys for the opportunity. Village management. Yeah.
Exciting night for our fire department. We also had the opportunity to welcome our new full-time paramedics to the department earlier tonight, as well as new battalion chiefs to our department. So lots of changes and new faces for everyone to get to know in the community over the next couple of days. Also, under my report, I'd like to entertain a motion from the board to pass an ordinance amending the liquor code from the number of Class J liquor licenses from 3 to 4 for Sonny's Italian Kitchen at 1320 West Lake Street.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, that motion carries. Otherwise, that is all I have under my report tonight. Is there any village trustees that have a report tonight? Trustee Domke.
Well, you can, oh, okay. Well, of course, I have to do with this evening of elegance that the Sister Cities is putting on. The room cleared out, but I'm gonna talk to the hundreds of people watching on the video. An evening of elegance hosted by the Roselle Sister Cities Association Polish Committee is coming February 15th at Venutis. Tickets can be purchased either on Sister Cities website or call Joanne Borokowska. She has a 773-704-5850. She gave me the okay to give out that number, by the way. Fantastic door prizes, open bar, DJ. Jeff Hoover is going to be the MC. The Obsession Fashion Show will be there, and 50/50 raffle, late night food treats table. They got some really great door prizes from, even the White Sox had some money and gave it away to the door prize. So
Heard they're paying fans though to come, Wayne. That seems like it's not a great deal.
maybe that's the way they're going to start their year on a winning note.
There we
But,
go.
it's a 5-course dinner. You can have either steak, chicken, or salmon, or vegan. Is that how you say it? Vegan? Whatever it is. Okay. But you can have that too, Tom. So, all good times. So anyway, come on out. It's the middle of winter. What else are you doing?
All right, thank you, Trustee Domke. Trustee Prokowski.
Thank you, Mayor Plesky. I have two things, also community events coming up. The first one is the Lake Park Educational Foundation has a golf outing at Top Golf. It's Thursday, March 20th. You can buy the tickets if you go to the Lake Park Educational Foundation website. Also, it's not necessarily an event. Flags for Roselle subscriptions are open. They can be purchased online through the Flags for Roselle website, as well as here at Village Hall. You can purchase them here, or you can send a check in to PO Box 72001, of course, at the Roselle Post Office. Thank you very much, Mayor Plesky.
Thank you so much. Move on to village clerk's report. Village attorney.
No report.
Village administrator. Treasurer's report. Finance director. Tom Dahl, coming on up. How do we wrap up the year, Tom?
To be determined. That's part of what I'm going to talk about. So in your packet tonight is the December Treasurer's Report, which is really a snapshot in time as of January 6th. So this is the end of the year, the end of the fiscal year. Staff is still accruing revenues, doing, getting final invoices, and the audit won't take place till the middle of March. So we'll be building to that time. So right now in the report, their revenues are at 96%, 96.4, expenditures are at 89%. That will continue to change. And we'll continue to accrue sales tax, local use tax, video gaming tax, food and beverage tax. So where you see us sitting right now is not exactly where we're going to be when we get to March in the audit. Now, I'll have a report for you then. And also, at the time of this report, we had not booked the Trinity property. So if you remember, we did a budget amendment several months ago. The Trinity property was sitting on our books as an asset. And with the turn of events with the library and them having a positive referendum, we had to expense that. So we will end up approximately where we thought we would, but with an additional $1.5 million in expense. So that was a budget amendment that was done. It's nothing new, but I just wanted to point that out. We haven't booked that. Now we have, and you'll see that later. But I just wanted to kind of preview that a little bit. You'll see on page 2, well, yeah, page 2 of my report, there's a lot of red in there. Sales tax is below budget. Local use tax is below budget, some other things. We kind of saw that coming, especially with the sales tax. We expected to see a 5% increase year over year, and it was only 1.4 right now. Again, we still are getting 2 more months of sales tax. We've seen that go up the last couple months. We've had some new sales tax generators come in, so that should be a little bit more positive. Local use tax, we did see that coming down, so that was not unexpected. And then some others, like I said, as we accrue revenues, those will either go away or at least get smaller, those differences. Other than that, the report is pretty much the same as it always is. You'll have the water sewer report, our cash and investments, and then select revenues, so you can see the performance. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Any questions from the board?
Just a quick one on the sales tax. Does that mean that sales are down, I guess, or is it just a cash flow thing?
Well, part of it is we are up 1.4%. It's just not as high as we expected into
Okay.
24. So remember, that was back in 2023. Things were starting to grow. And for whatever reason, every month it changes depending on who the player is. But it just didn't go up as much as we thought. But again, it has been growing the last several months. So I think we may not hit that 5%, but we'll probably be closer than we are today.
Thank you.
Other questions for Tom? Cheryl?
Whatever happened with the delay in the charging of the tax on the utility bills?
Oh, good question. Thank you. So we did last week, I want to say, or the week before, we received the tax for December. So that was a combination of the October and November tax that they didn't collect, plus the December tax. I think they're still, them being Nicor, I think they are still collecting probably the November tax from customers, but we did receive $114,000 in natural gas tax, and that was for October, November, and December.
So you're back.
So we're closer, yes. Yeah. Now I gotta wait and kind of, I was hoping for more detail, but I'm gonna request that from Nicor. They didn't give that to us directly, but I have somebody I can talk to, so I can get that.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Tom? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll continue with our agenda unfinished business. First, we have the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine, procedural, informational, self-explanatory, or non-controversial in nature and be enacted in one motion. There will be no discussion on these items unless removed from the consent agenda. Are there any items removed from the consent agenda tonight? Seeing none, we'll continue on. Tonight, we have presentation approval of the village board minutes of January 13th, 2025. Adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the payment to Brightview Landscape Development for the installation of the north shade structure at Petal Porch in the amount of $28,000. Adopt a resolution accepting the West Walnut Street water main extension public improvements. Adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an agreement by and between the Village of Roselle and Ginkgo Planning and Design Incorporated. Adopt a resolution approving and establishing a qualification-based selection policy. Adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of agreement by and between the Village of Roselle and Flood Brothers Disposal Company. Adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of agreement by and between the Village of Roselle and Henderson Products Incorporated through the joint purchasing cooperative Sourcewell for the brine maker replacement in the amount of $87,671.25. Adopt a resolution approving and amending the financial policy of the Village of Roselle. Adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an agreement by and between the Village of Roselle and Garland DBS Incorporated through the joint purchasing cooperative MICPA for the police department roof replacement in the amount of $426,017. And adopt a resolution approving and amending the purchasing policy of the Village of Roselle. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Or second? Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Lanisa.
Aye.
Trustee Prokowski.
Aye.
Trustee Forsythe.
Aye.
Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Delapenna.
Aye.
That motion carries. Continuing on, we have nothing under Development and Engineering Services. Move on to Administration. Trustee Domke.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to adopt a resolution approving amendments to the Village of Roselle Personnel Policy Manual.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Lanisa.
Aye.
Trustee Delapenna.
Aye.
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Trustee Forsythe.
Aye.
Trustee Prokowski.
Aye.
That motion carries.
I have no other.
Thank you so much. We have nothing under Fire, Police, or Public Works, but Finance. Trustee Forsythe.
Thank you, Mayor Pileski. I would like to move approval of the accounts payable list for January 27th, 2025 in the amount of $1,508,971.22.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Forsythe.
Aye.
Trustee Prokowski.
Aye.
Trustee Lanisa.
Aye.
Trustee Trejo.
Aye.
Trustee Domke.
Aye.
Trustee Delapenna.
Aye.
That motion carries.
That is all I have for tonight.
Thank you. We're going to move on to new business. First, we have Director of Development and Engineering Services, Chris Emile, presenting out on a report regarding a master license agreement with Lumos Fiber of Illinois.
Good evening. So Lumos Fiber is looking to install and provide mostly residential service to Roselle. They are looking to install kind of a backbone system and then reach out to our residents as well. The item before you is a master license agreement with Lumos that is very similar to ones that we've signed with other similar companies. The financial conditions, again, are the same as they are with those, with a one-time initial payment and then permit fees as we go. Lumos is here today to kind of provide you with a brief overview of their company and what they plan to do in Roselle. So, Alan, yourself.
Opportunity here tonight. So my name is Alan Roth. I'm a Director of Market Development with Lumos Fiber. As Chris has mentioned, our goal here is to come into the community and build a new fiber optic network for the residents and small and medium businesses throughout the community. Part of that is coming in, and as Chris mentioned, is laying that backbone fiber. So this would offer opportunity for residents to have a new choice for internet service. What we are presenting here is we're not looking for any funding. Basically, we're self-funding all of this entire project. We're looking just from the city and from the community's support for you to bring this project to fruition. It's what I always say is a short-term pain for a long-term gain. A lot of times the community has probably only had one internet option. So this would give you a new option. Our goal here is to overbuild the entire city. As far as timeline, we're looking around 36 months to build out and complete this entire project. But once complete, residents will have access to fiber internet services through Lumos.
Thank you. Any questions from the board regarding this agreement? I know you had mentioned 36 months. Do you know where you would be prioritizing kind of the backbone installation in the community at this point?
We have a saying just called follow the light.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll basically get light into the area, and from there we'll kind of grow out. You can easiest think of it is the way of a tree grows. The main trunk of the tree will grow, and from there we'll start to branch out as we start to build that main line throughout the community. So typically, once the fiber goes down the street, typically you'll be able to get services within 60 days from that.
Thank you. Wayne?
I have a question for Kristen. So it appears as though we have to approve each one of the projects that they propose to us?
So that's approved at a staff level. So this agreement gives you the authority to approve the initial agreement, and then everything else gets approved as any other utility permit.
And I'm for this, but I just want to know, like, are they going to be tearing up streets after we blacktop them? You know, I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, we'll try to coordinate with Lumos, but I believe most of what they're proposing would go in the grass or in the parkways. We're
Okay.
typically not installing utilities in.
But we will always be in, like, we'll say, hey, we're going to pave this street this year. Can you put it through today?
With a
Yeah.
project this big, we would ideally be coordinating with them to identify what their intended path was. And we would
Okay. As long as, you know, we have that ability, because we have other agendas.
Why we come here. We talked to Christian first is very much appreciate, you know, it's disruptive, right? We're working the right of way, we're working the public utility easements, and we try to make it as least disruptive as possible by working and collaborating on city projects. So, and to answer your question, a lot of our deployment is underground, so you most likely won't see any of it. Sometimes we'll do like we call pothole, which is basically just drill a hole in the ground to visually pass utilities to ensure that they cross safely.
How deep do you go, by the way?
Typically around, follow the result code for that, but typically fiber installations are around 18 to 30. So usually a little shallower than what you would find with gas or water.
Any other questions from the board? What's the consensus on the
It's good.
I don't know what a fiber optic is, but it sounds good.
fast internet? Fast internet, and it's usually cheaper, so. All right, we've got 6 in favor of moving forward, so you've got your direction to continue on. I think introducing new competition in the market's always a welcome thing, and it's always nice when it comes to your doorstep instead of us having to hunt it down. So thank you, and looking forward to working with you. Our next item on new business is our presentation from our Chief of Police, Roberto Barreto. I keep
Burrito.
on doing that. It's, you know what, it's just Rob. I just gotta stop it. I'm having a
I
problem.
almost dismissed them today already.
So, regarding an intergovernmental agreement update with the Board of Education for Lake Park, so.
He'll be here.
I think I'm so. Basically, this is an intergovernmental agreement which we signed back in 2006 with Lake Park, which is District 108, which allows for us to do information sharing between the school and the police department. As you can imagine, in 2006, since then, there's been significant changes in our personnel and theirs. So we're updating the agreement so that we can share information with them. They can share it with us for students who are involved in criminal activity. This agreement is going to be in perpetuity. Will until they or us decide that we don't want to do it anymore, would require 30 days notice on either side. We work very closely with Lake Park already. Our SROs, which are at each campus, provide information to Lake Park on things that would affect them. And then also they provide information that on things that would affect the community. So I'm just looking to update this agreement and sign it and move on.
Any questions from the board?
Makes perfect sense.
Consensus to move forward?
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And then finally, we have our 2022 to 2025 strategic plan update from Village Assistant Administrator Brian Jones.
Call me whatever you want, Mayor.
I'm just like, titles and names today are like, we're struggling. What happens when you ask the mayor to do something at 6 instead of 7? But anyway.
So this is just a wrap-up memo for Q4 of last year as it results to this strategic plan. So a lot of this information you heard from the mayor elegantly stated as his state of the address at the last meeting. I just want to hit the highlights here and then talk about some changes that we have coming up, kicking off this year's projects for the strategic plan. So you already heard Tom's treasurer's report about the fiscal health of the village, but did want to re-highlight the 4.16 million in grants that were awarded to the village last year, as well as the evaluation of the fee schedule that will be included in this year's project scope. Focus redevelopment, as the board recalls, Firewater Barbecue has submitted everything that they needed to get on the February Planning and Zoning Commission meeting that's upcoming next week. And Lexington has submitted their initial plans for review for the townhome development that's being proposed at the village-owned parcel at I-390 and Roselle Road. We still remain above benchmarks for our occupancy rates for all commercial industries. And for reliable infrastructure, Public Works wrapped up all of their construction projects for the 2024 programs. Design is still ongoing for the treatment plant expansion projects, and construction is being planned out. Asset management is going to be reevaluated this year and kind of will be a part of an assessment that will be used in this year's budget process for next year. For operational sustainability, we completed the onboarding of the new HR generalist, and with that, we kind of combined 3 initiatives into one. So that's 3 projects. We've done this in the past with the strategic plan, but just makes more sense kind of outlining some of the objectives that we're looking to accomplish when it comes to succession planning, overall training of our workforce, and the engagement as well. So that kind of dovetails into the performance evaluation project that was approved last quarter of last year. And we have phase 1 being kicked off with some focus group sessions to retain staff feedback of our performance evaluation project or process that will be held in March. We also onboarded a new IT manager all last year, and we have kind of a groundwork and results of the IT assessment that's as part of this strategic plan to highlight some of additional software and gaps within our organization that we could increase efficiency surrounding operational sustainability and customer experience. We ended the year really strong from a staffing perspective with 4 full-time vacancies and 3 part-time vacancies across the entire organization. And as the mayor highlighted, last board meeting, we celebrated 15 anniversary milestones last year and had over a dozen internal promotions. For customer experience, again, highlighting Cloud Permit, the implementation of the village's building and permitting software. We've processed hundreds of building permits and inspections through the software to date, gotten really good feedback from the community, and we're continuing to build that out currently in the licensing module, looking to maybe go live in a couple months to test out business licensing and to increase the efficiency surrounding that program. We also have processed around 200 FOIA requests successfully through the village's new FOIA software. We'll continue to monitor staff's kind of time and investment in that resource to make sure that we're leveraging the technology to the best of our ability. And then we also have slated for this year kind of enhancements to our records retention and management software, Laserfiche. We have additional training that was carried over from last year to this year. So to wrap it up, just wanted to update the board on some internal decisions that have been made through kind of analytics and also staff engagement and public participation when it comes to the management of the strategic plan. So as the board recalls, we've had a contract with Invisio, which is a software company used for the community dashboard on our website. and also does the supplemental reporting attached to this memo, as well as the internal reporting process for staff when it comes to the projects associated with the strategic plan. So we do not have Invisio budgeted through this year. So through the budget process in the last couple months, we've identified and are going to implement Monday.com for the reporting side internally of the strategic plan. It's a workforce and task management software that Fortune 500 companies use, and we found it to be not just budget friendly, but also user friendly, and taking that kind of feedback from the public as well as internal staff to make sure that we're remaining as accountable as possible when it comes to the progress of our initiatives. So with that, we know that there's going to be a gap with the public-facing portion of the strategic plan, and we'll have more to present to the board before mid-year when it comes to the solutions that we think will fit for that. But we're confident that we won't lose any momentum with the plan itself or transparency. We're just going to be using a different tool going forward. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions for Brian?
Of course, I have one.
That's okay. That's what we're here for.
There's a gap between the public, what? Could you just like itemize what you're saying?
Yeah, so we've experienced kind of low public engagement with our dashboard. So kind of through that process and just looking at how staff has utilized the software to manage the strategic plan itself, we did some demonstrations and used the budget process to see if there was either something we could do in-house with the tools we already have or something else that may do it better. We found that decision, and it's budget friendly. It's around 10 grand a year for the licenses that we currently ordered. That will take care of the reporting process, meaning what you have in front of you attached to my memo and what staff does every month is kind of a roll-up reporting process that goes through our basic project level all the way up to the priorities that I talk about in these updates, and helps us remain accountable and just on track with the projects that are associated with the outcomes that the board is slated with this strategic plan. What that software doesn't address is some of the robust kind of reporting options that you see from common dashboards of software that's typically out there. So we have a few in mind where we've been in demos with one already. We want to see a little bit more kind of work product come out of that. So we have some additional calls with them and additional things that we think we can do across the organization when it comes to department reports, the strategic plan itself, and then David's annual year in review, just using data to the best of our ability. So Monday.com will handle all the kind of nuance in regards to the management of the plan itself and will help dictate how we go forward with these projects. But we're going to still fill that gap with probably another software that can't do what Monday can do.
I think when we started this strategic plan, which is crazy to think that we're coming towards the end of it here shortly, we had no technology that we were deploying. So Invisio is really a first for us to use it. And I think there was a lot of great things, but I think one thing that came out of it was it was less busy work than before, but it still created a lot of additional manual labor on staff's part to do the tracking, which is important, but it also detracts from actually doing the things we want to do, right? And actually deliver results for the community. And so I think this is a good way to refine, find the best parts of what we liked and find a better tool that's more cost effective at it, frankly, and gives the team that more free time to actually solve the problems instead of document how they solve the problems, I guess, in my perspective. So we'll continue to, I think this gives us an opportunity also to test some things out before we get to an exciting, next strategic plan for us here around the corner at the end of this year. We'll need to set some new goals and whatnot. And I think this will give us an opportunity to know what would work better and how we want to go about holding ourselves accountable for that. So. Any other questions? All right, thank you so much. That concludes our new business. Is there any village board public comment? No, let the record show none. Is there any other business for discussion only?
I was just wondering about the Rose Fest, but.
Well, you are Lion
I am a
Lion
lion.
Wayne. Would you like to give us an update on the Rose festivities and what was discussed at the meeting?
It was.
I know we have Lion Mark in the audience, but he doesn't have speaking privileges at this point in time. Although, we could do public comment. Do you want, no, he does not want to make a public comment. In fact, Lion Mark is telling Lion Wayne to hold his horses, I think, for an official announcement to be coming from the Lions Club. of Roselle.
That's what I was gonna say. An official announcement will be coming from the Lions Club.
Thank you, Lion Wayne.
Make clear how we're spelling lion on that for the people that are at home.
Oh, wow.
Any other business for discussion? Motion to adjourn, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Any abstentions?